Alright, you charming bastards, here is a peculiar build. I've decided to combine two probably most useless elements in the game and create something that could be very powerful. Dual wands and grenades. I've tried to do grenadier, tested it, simply no matter what you do, it's useless. You will either focus on only one grenade, depending on the element that you put points into. For example, if you put points into hydrosulfate, you're going to use freeze grenade. If you put points into pyrokinetic, you're going to use firestorm grenade, and that's only way it's going to be affected. That makes them pretty much useless unless you want to throw the same bloody grenade throughout the whole game, which will be, I believe, impossible, because you won't be able to get all the materials needed after every single fight to craft those grenades again and again. So this is what I've come up with. I hope you're gonna like it. Gear is up to you. I would go for intelligence based gear and then choose your combat ability that you want to focus on, your element. In this case I have two wands that are doing air damage. So get yourself wands that are doing same elemental damage and then pump points into that school. Currently I'm using air, doesn't matter, you can go for whatever you want, water, air, poison, earth, fire, your choice. But you need to then put points into corresponding combat ability. If it's fire damage, then pyrokinetic and so on. As for the rest of the combat abilities, I put most points into air courage and dual wielding. Putting points into dual wielding will increase your dodge rating. Although this combat ability is not that great, it actually helped me in that paladin bridge, because paladins had some trouble hitting me when you combine all the dodge boosts that I get from this setup. And this is my dodge rating currently: from dual wielding 11%, from parry master 10%, and from gear 10%. And the only other things that you need are 2 points into summoning, either from gear or by directly putting points into summoning, so that you can get Dominate Mind. Dominate Mind is especially useful in those fights where you want to save your powerful charming grenades. All charming effects are resisted by magic armor. That means that this particular build, charming build, is especially efficient in mixed damage parties and in magical damage parties. It can also be used if you have all 3 other party members as physical based damage. Simply you'll focus the guy that's got lowest magical armor and then dominate his arse as soon as possible. You'll still be doing some damage with these dual wands. Dual wands are not that bad damage wise. If you can, try getting increased critical chance from these dual wands. Currently I have the best possible setup, same damage, and both of these give me plus 10% critical chance. Next to 2 points into summoning, get yourself 2 points into scoundrel as well. That will give you adrenaline, so that you get that action point boost when you need it. Chloroform, which is also resisted by magic armor and gives you another form of crowd control, and cloak and dagger. That's basically all you need. As I said, choose your own element school. If you do not want air, go for something else. Air is pretty cool because you can get uncanny evasion. And when you put that on your arse, no one from melee range will be able to hit you. From normal attributes, focus typical stuff, intelligence, and then the rest of the points into wits. From talents, I choose something like this: glass cannon, hothead, parry master, savage sortilege, and slingshot. The only things that are must here are glass cannon and hothead. The rest is optional. Savage sortilege is if you want to use more spells than your auto attacks with dual wands. If you do not want it, perfectly fine. Slingshot is also an optional talent. It will increase the range of your grenades, but you have plenty of range with it as it is. If there are such battles where you can jump pretty far away on a high ground and then attack from that high ground, that's where slingshot can be especially useful, because you won't need to then get back to the normal ground to throw the grenade in the range to charm the bastard. If you're going a lone wolf route, then forget about glass cannon and go for something like executioner. Executioner can help you get some of the action points back during that one turn. Without Lone Wolf, I would not go for Executioner because your Charmed Bastards will do enough damage, and I don't know if you're gonna get that last hit, so it's kinda opportunistic. If you want, you can go for it, but I wouldn't go for it without Lone Wolf. Glass Cannon is really good at the beginning of the game, so let me just cover now what would be the build for Joy and Hollow Marshes starting area. Glass Cannon is something I would definitely pick immediately, and then later on it's all up to you. All of these other talents are optional. Hothead is not that great at the beginning of the game, so forget about that up until you're at least level 10 or so. And get something else like all skilled up, bigger and better to get yourself those stat boosts. For the first 8 levels in Forge and Hollow Marshes, I'd go for something like this. 2 points in Summoning to get Dominate Mind, 2 points into Scoundrel, and then divide points amongst dual wielding and elemental school that you're using. That's it. That would be my version of first 8 levels or so. Depending if you can even get Dominate Mind in the first region. I'm not sure about that. Can't remember really if there was such a skill book while I was playing through Forge and Hollow Marshes. But if there is a vendor with Dominate Mind skill book, definitely put 2 points into Summoning. It will pay off. From attributes, focus on intelligence during the first region and then start putting points into wits. Well, that's it. Now for the grenades. For the grenades, you only need to know 2 recipes, or actually 3. If you want to use Terror. If you do not want Terror, then only 2. These are the recipes. Love Grenade, empty perfume bottle and any honey source. To get any honey source, get empty honey jar and then find any beehive. There's beehive in every area of the game, if I remember correctly. And then you can just go to the beehive and use empty honey bottle to refill it with honey. Mind Maggot Grenade, empty grenade and jar of mind maggots. They are accessible through the game. You'll find about 10 of them, maybe even more, depending if you can buy some of the vendor. And that's enough. This is extremely powerful. It's got a huge range. Look at the range, absolutely ridiculous. And it charms everyone for 4 turns. Not 2, but 4. For Terror Grenade, you're gonna need Empty Canister and Tormented Soul. That's it. Let's get to testing. Typical testing spot, Bastard Bridge with all these paladins. Let's start by using Encourage. And DPS from high ground will help us. Goal here is to remove their magical armor as soon as possible. Now I have a couple of options. These 2 bastards are without their magical armor. I can throw Terror Grenade to make them terrified and they will become completely useless. Or I can try to charm them. Let's try charming them. A low grenade lasts only for 2 turns, while Mind Maggot Grenade lasts for 4 turns. Problem is that AI is really smart now. They will freeze the charmed bastards, or they will knock them down, or I don't know, they will do anything, any kind of crowd control effect, and that will break charming effect. If I jump here, then I'm gonna need 1 more action point to get in place. Alright, I can do this. I'm gonna use Adrenaline. Now I'm gonna jump. Let's see what Superconductor will do. Not enough. We're gonna move 1 more action point. Gonna pop air resistance potion so that I do not kill myself. Trust me, that thing is that powerful with this build. Now we have this bastard over here, not dead but lost its magic armor. This bastard is stunned. If person is stunned or frozen or whatever, you cannot charm them. Well, I can simply kill this bastard. That will make all of it a lot easier. One defender is stunned. And I still control two of the bastards over there. By throwing Deep Freeze, this guy became frozen. And his charmed effect was removed, unfortunately. I do have a lot of dodge rating, but it did not work here. Took a lot of damage. Doesn't matter. We're here. Gonna use... Actually, I'm not gonna use Fortify, not gonna waste it here. Or I might have to. Fortify. Here is Paladin Defender again. And the healer. I want to get rid of this healer. He's constantly throwing that magic armor, which is annoying. I won't be killing him immediately. She's not charmed anymore, which means she will throw glitter dust. I will go invisible, hoping that they would not hit me with their AoE spells. Because they are now searching for you by using AoE spells when you go invisible. There we go, and now they will probably see me. Yep. It removed invisibility. And now I'm in trouble. Ooh, good. That dodge rating helped me there. And helped me there as well. Too bad it doesn't save against bouncing shield. But at least I'm not taunted yet. Alright. We are still good to go. What I'm gonna do now is simple. Damage the healer. Damage the protector. And use the grenade. It's time to charm some more bastards. Oh, and Paladin Defender doesn't have... Look at the range of this, it's beautiful. And Paladin Defender also does not have... And this one does not have. Maybe I can charm... Oh, look at this. This is probably the most powerful grenade in the game if you have magic damage in your party. Now look at this. Charmed, 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 charmed. And now they are working for me. I'm pretty much safe. We have all of them charmed for a long time, 3 turns. That's huge. That's really huge. We have blinded Archer there, so he's completely worthless. So the only thing that I need to do is DPS the Elementalist. And if I want, I can charm her too. But I do not want that. Then they would have no one to fight. And I also get some buffs from the good Paladin healer. I have now so many choices, I don't even know what to do. Well, for now, let's just... Oh, crap. Cannot target marksman, but I will now. These guys won't even play now anymore, because they have no one to kill. They are charmed for one more turn only, so I need to be careful about this. I'm gonna move here and I'm gonna start DPSing the healer. He is not charmed anymore, so defenders are now focusing him, which is good for me. And now defenders are not charmed anymore. But that's alright. We have Dominate Mind still available. There we go. And I have Adrenaline. And I have Chloroform. But I can probably kill him as well. Ah, did not crit. Doesn't matter. Here we go, chloroform, and now he's controlled. Well, this just proves that taunted means nothing in this game, unfortunately. He's taunted and he does not want to attack him. Which is ridiculous, but that's alright. We still have this guy who is not charmed anymore. So let's just focus him and get it over with. He does have a lot of HP. I don't want to risk anything, so I will throw terror grenade, make him terrified, and that will pretty much make him useless in the next turn. I'm gonna use high ground advantage, and there we go. We are done. That's the build, lads. I hope you enjoyed. I quite enjoyed. To be honest, it's really fun to charm all the bastards around. Obviously, the build depends a lot on how many charm grenades you have available, although you do not need to use them in every fight. Pick your fights. If you see that there's no need to use them in the fight, simply use Dominate Mind instead of the grenades. It's still a very useful spell. It's not as powerful as Mind Magnet Grenade, and look at the range of this. I mean, nothing is as powerful as this. Use terror grenades as well. You now know all the recipes and everything else. Well, that's it. One peculiar build. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Special thanks to my patrons. And see you all soon.
Toodaloo, motherfucker!